Hello guys, good evening. You are welcome to my YouTube channel, the Explicit Tutorials, and my name is Tutor Joseph. In today's video, I'll be taking us atom and molecules in Chem 111, which is what? Chapter 1. Excuse me. Chem 111 is one of the courses you shall be offering in your O level, and the first chapter talks about atoms and what? Molecules. Now, in the fifth century, the atomist called what? Democritus. Democritus said that every matter is made up of small indivisible particle called what? Atom. But his discovery was highly criticized by Plato. Plato and Aristotle kicked against his postulates that matter is made up of smaller invisible particles called what? Atom. Plato and Aristotle criticized it. Now, after his postulation, in 1808, John Dalton brought up some atomic postulates. He said that every matter is made up of smaller indivisible particles called what? Atom. That was number one. Then number two, he said that atoms of the same element are exactly alike, and they are different from atom of every other what? Element. Then number three, he said that atom can neither be created nor destroyed, but it takes part in every chemical reaction. Then number four, he said that during chemical reaction, there is what? Rearranging, separation, and combining of different elements. And this combination, rearrangement, and separation do not result to their construction or what? Destruction. That was okay. Those were the four postulations he had concerning what? Atom. And the textbook actually said that J.J. Thomson gave the most acceptable definition of what? Atom. J.J. Thomson that atom is what? A spherical object having what? Scattered protons and what? Embedded electrons. Alright, but there were some limitations to it. Says something like this: protons. So what I have here is what? J.J. Thomson's what? Atomic structure. He said all these protons were scattered and the electrons were embedded. This is what? J.J. Thomson's atomic what? Structure. But after his discovery, Ernest Rutherford said that his postulation was wrong, that actually the protons are not scattered, they are found concentrated in the nucleus of the atom, and that the electrons are not embedded, but they are found revolving around the atom. We'll get there. So please take note of that. Then let's discuss the electron. Please take note. The discovery of Dalton, that is Dalton atomic theory, led to another definition of what? Atom. That atom is a basic unit of matter that can take part or enter every chemical reaction, and at the end of the reaction is not what? Converted. I said after John Dalton's atomic theory, another definition of atom was brought up, that it is a basic unit of every matter, and it has the ability to undergo every chemical reaction, which means that every matter, every molecule, or any structure at all contains what? Atom, which means that atoms are the building block of every what? Object. It is a basic unit of what? Matter. Now, electron being a negatively charged particle, and it determines the chemical properties of what? An element. Now, J.J. Thomson was the first to discover what? The electron. J.J. Thomson was the first to discover what? The electron through cathode ray experiments. Alright, through cathode ray experiment. Now, J.J. Thomson said that he discovered the charge to mass ratio of what? The electron as minus 1.76 times 10 raised power 8 coulomb per what gram. You know the SI unit of charge is what? Coulomb. That was what he stated. But in year 18, in year 1908 to 1917, R.A. Millikan said that the charge of the electron was actually minus 1.60 times 10 raised power what? Minus 19 coulomb. Alright, so this was his own postulation, that the charge of the electron was minus 1.60 times 10 raised power what? Minus 19 coulomb. Then that of J.J. Thomson was minus 1.76 times 10 raised power what? 8 coulomb per what? Gram. Now, please, it was Robert Andrew Millikan that discovered the charge of an electron through the oil drop experiment. He was the one that conducted the oil drop what? Experiment. So please take note of that, oil drop experiment. Now, J.J. Thomson had his own value, Millikan had his own value. Therefore, to calculate for the mass of electron, please let me rub off this stuff. Oh, where is the ball wiper? Therefore, to calculate for the mass of electron, now, the mass of electron is equals charge over charge to mass. Now this charge, this first one was based on Millikan's what? Postulation, that is Millikan's value, minus 1.60 times 10 raised power minus 19 coulomb. And this charge to mass was, what is it called now? J.J. Thomson's value, that is minus 1.76 times 10 raised power 8 coulomb per watt gram. This coulomb will go out. I now have mass of electron and mass of electron as, I think this will divide. So let me use calculator, please. Excuse me. Okay, I've been able to do it. 1.60 divided by 1.76 is actually what? 0.909. Now this one is going up. This 8 here is going up, becomes times minus 19. As long as it goes up, becomes what? Minus 8. And this is going to be 0.909 times 10 raised by what? Minus what? 27. Now to express this in a standard form, it becomes 9.09 times 10 raised by what? Minus 1. Minus 1 times, that is minus 1 minus what? 27. This is 9.09 times 10 raised by what? Minus what? 28 gram. Therefore, this is the charge of what? The electron. 9.09 times 10 raised by what? Minus 28 raised by minus 28 watt gram. This is the charge of what? The electron. Take note of that. Now, that was what Millikan concluded as the charge of what? Electron. And again, please, J.J. Thomson's atomic model, J.J. Thomson's atomic model is called what? Plum pudding, okay? Take note of that. Take note of this. Plum pudding is, plum pudding atomic model is that of what? J.J. Thomson's atomic what? Model. Now, okay, how do I put it now? Okay, what about the proton? In year 1910, Ernest Rutherford, let me write it. Ernest Rutherford discovered the proton in year 1910. Ernest Rutherford and his co-worker actually discovered what? The proton. The proton is what? A positively charged particle. A positively charged particle. Now his experiment was done using what? A gold foil. Alright, gold foil what? Experiment. He bombarded proton with what? An alpha particle. Alpha particle. That is alpha scattering experiment. It was one that carried out what? Alpha scattering experiment. Alpha scattering what? Experiment. Now, if J.J. Thomson's atomic model is called plum pudding, then Ernest Rutherford atomic model is called what? Planetary. It's called planetary because the electron is found revolving round the electron. Please, planetary atomic model is to Rutherford, then plum pudding is to what? J.J. Thomson. Take note of that. Now, he bombarded alpha particle with proton. You know, alpha particle is actually what? Positively charged. Proton is positively charged. When he bombarded it, he discovered that there was a deflection according to Coulomb's law of electrostatics, which states that like charges repel, but unlike charges what? Attract. Now, during the bombardment, there was a great repulsion. They did not attract because they had the same what? Charge. Now, he also bombarded it with what? The nucleus of the atom. The nucleus of the atom. When he did that, he noticed that there was also a great repulsion. Therefore, he said that the nucleus is also what? Positively what? Charged. Therefore, the proton and the neutron are found in the nucleus of the atom. The proton and neutron are found in the nucleus of the atom. Conclusively, the nucleus is positively charged. The proton is what? Positively charged. Take note of that. The neutron in 1932 was discovered by James Chadwick. The neutron in year 1932 was discovered by James Chadwick. Alright, he discovered it after bombarding several particles of beryllium and what? Alpha particle. Alright, neutron was discovered in year 1932 by James Chadwick after bombarding beryllium and what? Alpha particle. Take note of that. And good. Now, Wilhelm Röntgen, that is Wilhelm Did I get this right? Was one that discovered the X-ray. How did he discover that? Now, he noticed that when a cathode ray passes through a substance, it emits what? An energetic particle. Energetic what? Particle having high penetrating power. And these particles were also capable of darkening photographic plates. Now, he said that as cathode passes through a particular medium, there is an emission of particles that are highly energetic, and these particles, they have high penetrating power. These particles, they have the ability to darken photographic plates. Therefore, he called them what? X-ray. So these are the features of X-ray. It is highly energetic. It has high penetrating power. It has the ability to what? Darken photographic what? Plate. And it was discovered by Wilhelm Röntgen. Please take note of that. Now, electromagnetic theory tells us that the cathode ray can actually behave like electric Alright, that is electromagnetic theory actually stated that the electron can sometimes behave like what? A magnetic what? Material, and they have the ability to interact with electric and what? Magnetic field in which what? They passes. Since they can behave as a magnet or as a magnetic what? Material, therefore they can interact with electric and magnetic field in which the word passes. That is based on what? Electromagnetic theory. Please take note of that. Then radioactivity, which is radioactivity, which is a spontaneous disintegration of an unstable nuclei to produce what? A stable one. A good example is what? Uranium. Uranium is a radioactive what? Element. Radioactivity was first discovered by Henry Becquerel. Alright, it was first discovered by Henry Becquerel, but one of his students called Marie Curie named it radioactivity. Henry Becquerel discovered radioactivity, but it was Marie Curie that named it radioactivity. So please take note of that. So this chapter 1 has to be discovery, and a little of what? Calculation. But right now, I'm going to be giving you all the discoveries, but in our next video, we shall be focusing on what? Calculation. Now, molecule. What is a molecule? A molecule is formed by the aggregation of two or more atoms. Molecule is formed by the aggregation of what? Two or more atoms in a definite or constant what? Composition. Molecule, which of these are formed by the aggregation of two or more atoms? It is what? Molecule. Please take note of that. It is very important. So at this point, we call it a day. In my next video, I'm going to be telling us how to do calculations on this what? Topic. We are going to be discussing atom, that is what's it called now? Empirical and molecular formula, proton number, neutron number, mass number, and whatever number. Okay, so please, if you have learned something, endeavor to subscribe.